You can't give them no money in the evening. I tell them at $5, make them miss work the next day. $5. They want money every day. They start out 40. They'll start out 40 and they'll drop on down quick, you know. I had this one guy who was working for me. He was a mechanic and been helping me. He was smoke a little crack, you know. He was crack head. He said, anything happened to you, you didn't need to go to no doctor or nothing. No, you just had something wrong with you, sick something, just get you a $10 crack rock. $10 crack rock fix anything. I said, well, heart attack? He said, yeah, if you're having a heart attack, just hit you a $10 rock. Well, needless to say, he's dead and gone. $10 crack rock didn't save him, he's gone. One time we was at Myrtle Beach, me and my buddy Ray Laws, his wife and my wife, and we was after them to ride the helicopters with us. They wouldn't ride no helicopters. It was after us, we just stayed on them on a parasail with us, go to get on the parasail. No, they didn't want to ride no parasail, so me and Ray, we go on up there, get in line, you know, and drink us a couple drinks there while we're waiting to get on the banana boat to go out to get on the boat, the parasail, you know. We go on out with parasail, come back, get back to the motel room. Well, how'd it go? I said, y'all ain't gonna never believe it. I said, we went out there to get on the boat, banana boat. 2 girls got on out, 20, 21 years old with us. We go on out and get us up on the boat and all. Said, who wants to go first? And I said, well, let the girls go first. I said, they want to go naked. Man asked them, could they go nude? The man said, yeah, y'all go nude. So they stripped the little bikinis off here and didn't have much on to begin with. Strapped them up, sent them on out. We was all talking about them and all. And the 2 dudes running the boat thought they was with us. I said, no, they ain't with us. They found out they weren't with us. I said, they wind them back in, put us fat tails on it, sent us on out, you know. And I said, y'all should have went. I said, but I'm glad y'all women didn't go with us, because I said, we had a time of our life. I just made all this stuff off the top of my thing, you know. I said, we going to ride the helicopters. They said, we going with y'all. they weren't going to let me make up another. They believed every bit of it, you know. No, I thought we was going to stay out of politics and voting. Boating. Boating, oh yeah. Motorboats. Yeah, I like to run over pool last summer. I'm coming down the lake, girlfriend's laying up in the boat, suntan and all. Come on down the lake, this jet ski passed. Now look, there's another jet ski, 3 foot of the boat. He falls off a jet ski right in front of the boat. I'd bet money I'd run over him. I threw the motor to the right and turned it, come back. I said, man, what in the hell is wrong with you? He said, I don't know what happened to me. He said, I got so close to you, it scared me, and I just jumped off. I said, yeah, but you didn't jump off the other side of the jet ski. You jumped off the side of the jet ski in front of my boat. I said, if you got any sense, if you jumped off the left-hand side right away from me, do you think that might would have saved you? But here we go back to common sense again. You just abandoned ship right out in front of the transfer truck, you know. Talking about back to family and all, I always tell them, if you're born after 1980, you ain't hit no much. Because don't nobody born after 1980 have no common sense. I back up to the trailer, work trailer. Come on back. Hep says, you ain't gonna be able to use this trailer today. I said, why? It's too low. Won't go up on the ball. I said, really? The trailer's too low? I said, reach and put your hands on that little round thing you turn and jack the trailer up and I'll back up under. No common sense, you know. 30 years old, 5 gallons of gas, tell the help go down there and fill the mix up, bought a machine, they go down there, come back, 5 gallons of gas ain't gonna fill that mix up. I said, what do you mean? It ain't but a gallon gas tank on it. They don't want down there and pour the gas over in the bowl where you make it model. You know, you're born after 1980, no common sense. Plenty of computer sense and stuff and all, but no. I got some kids. They'll ask, can I make a turkey sandwich? Girlfriend says, yes, you make a turkey sandwich. Go to the refrigerator, open the refrigerator door. I'm talking about a single door refrigerator now, not a double door, but just a single door. Where's the turkey at, Mama? Mama has to get up, go show them the turkey. Close the door. Where's the bread, Mama? I said, if you can't find the bread, just throw the turkey in the trash can. You know, you ain't gonna be able to make a turkey sandwich. I said, y'all are so pitiful. When y'all get married and y'all have kids and your kids want a turkey sandwich, y'all gonna have to call your mama and get your mama to tell y'all where the turkey is so y'all can tell y'all's kids where the turkey is. It's pitiful, you know. But I don't know. I tell them all the time, I could take a door handle off the left-hand side of the door and put it on the right-hand side of the door, and I'll come in 3 days later, y'all be still standing at the door, can't get through the door. We was at Richmond one time. Well, the first time we ever went to Richmond. We got there, pulled up, man cutting grass. We didn't know where to camp anything. We pulled up and asked this dude cutting grass at the racetrack where the camp was. This dude come up in the house. He said, man, y'all blocking my driveway. You blocking my driveway. You got it. My daughter's coming home 4 o'clock. You're blocking the driveway. I looked, 11 o'clock, you know. I said, we ain't gonna be here a few minutes. He just kept on. So, man, I get my pistol, lay my pistol in the door of the camp. I said, this man's gonna come out and kill us, you know, because we blocking his driveway, you know, on a little side street. So, finally, my buddy comes back across there. I said, this man, come on here. I said, come on, this man is crazy, you know. Come on. He said, oh, hell, just take a gun, kill him, we'll go on to the racetrack, you know. So we'll get over to I think it was a Magnolia flea market. We get over to the flea market, get a campsite, you know. Man told us, we didn't back the campers in there and all. He said, this corner site up here would probably suit y'all better. You can park your trucks and all on them. So we pull the campers up there, and they riding by on golf carts all day long. Bringing campers in, you know. So we turned our 2 campers, parking spots all on parallel. So we had 2 campsites, so we turned our campers facing each other with the awnings out, you know. And it's about 10 o'clock at night. This dude walks up. He says, when the hell did y'all do this? I said, what do you mean? When did y'all turn these campers like this? I said, the whole time you've been riding by us all day long, soon as we put in there. He said, y'all gonna have to move them. My buddy speaks up and he said, what are you gonna do if we don't move them? And I said, this dude about 6'8", you know, great big dude. We 10 sheets in the wind, you know, we've been drinking and everything and all. He said, you don't wanna go there. Because he said, I'm gonna move them for you. I said, oh man. I said, let's think about this thing. I said, look, we've been partying. It's late. Let's talk about this in the morning, you know. So we get up the next morning. We end up, we moved them. There's a whole lot better for us, you know, out of town. We just went on and moved our campers, turned them. Said he took an aerial picture of it every year, and the owner wanted all the campers in line, you know. But we stand there, race time. It was like this dude, 7 foot tall, this little dude, 4 foot tall, arguing at the Johnny houses. 4 Johnny houses right across a little gravel thing there on the corner. People just stand in line everywhere, waiting to get them Johnny. They just cleaned them out. Well, the old big guy kept reaching up there and smacking the short guy on the head. Well, when the young guy come out, the little short guy come out, and the big guy went in the porta-john, he went around back and turned the porta-john over with the big guy in it. And when he turned it over, he'd done this, I think, a time or 2 and all. When he turned it over with the door down to the ground so he couldn't get out of it. So the people had to get to John's house and get it picked up. When that dude come out in there, blue from head to toe, that little dude won't nowhere to be found. He was, he was gone. We riding at Bristol, racetrack, riding the golf carts and all, and the law tell us, need to put the golf carts up. Everybody at park, it's 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, you know. Put the golf carts up. I I said, I got a remedy to this. Buddy said, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to go back to the camp and put this golf cart up and get the other golf cart. I said, I'm going to change shirts. I went in, changed shirts, put me a different color shirt on, you know. Got on the other golf cart. We rode at 3 o'clock in the morning. And my wife said, she just couldn't believe it, you know. But my buddy Ray, he was the instigator. Him and my wife couldn't get along. They was like brothers and sisters. They argued all the time. We get up there, get the camps and all set up, take off. 2 girls walking in the campground. Ray, he stops, picks them up. They on the back of the golf cart. I said, whatever you do not go back by our campus with these 2 women on it. You know what he does? Pulls right up in front of my camper, blows the horn. My wife comes out the camper, both of the girls pulls their shirts up, sticks them over the back of their head, and waves at my wife. And I said, he takes off. And I said, oh my God. They went to the titty store and spent all our money on titties. You got one little lane up there, the skanks. They call themselves skanks. It's about 25 of them women come up and they'll put up signs, Skank Alley, you know. People ride up and they got pools out there they in and everything and all. Well, anyway, a friend of mine from Alabama, and he's up there and he was an old coal mine worker, great big old dude and all, you know. And he told me, he said, Todd, I finally figured out why I like you so much. I said, why is that? He said, I got a son named Todd. He said, it took me 4 years to figure this out. And he was a cat bird. Anyway, he goes down at the skanks, down that parting with the skanks. When he comes home that night, we look, he's coming up thing, he's falling. He falls down on a 4-way spigot, water hookup. Well, one of the spigots gets in his pocket some kind of way. He's trying to get up, can't get up. Every time he moves, it's turning another spigot on, more water spraying all over him. He's about to drown, you know. So we finally get him up, get him to the thing. Well, the next morning, he takes a shower. When he gets out of the shower, Donna said he had tattoos all over his ass. And she started raising Cain at him. He said, you know I ain't done nothing for them women, honey. I just went down there to laugh and joke and carry on with them honeys on. She said, but they put tattoos on your ass. He said, they didn't mean no harm in putting them tattoos on my ass. He said, it was all in fun. He said, I don't see where I really done anything wrong. But he's a cat bird. You meet so many people at the races and they follow from circuit to circuit, you know. But the other day, one of them had a meeting, 1 o'clock meeting. They worked in a month. Go ahead and got a 1 o'clock meeting. I said, we just worked yesterday, and I let you off last night at 8 o'clock. How did you get this appointment at 1 o'clock? 1 o'clock, he's still sitting on the job talking to his girlfriend. But I've had them flat tires. I had one told me one time, I said, where was you at yesterday? He said, I went to a Conway Twitty concert. I said, you did? I said, you're doing pretty good, ain't you? He said, what do you mean? I said, Conway Twitty's been dead 3 years. If you went to his concert, you done really done something, you know. They come out the woodwork everywhere. Tires is flat, you go out there, they ain't even look at the vehicle, they ain't even had a wrench on a lug nut in 15 years, you know. Tire just ball as an onion, you know, and they had a flat tire and put another onion on it. You know? He's had that thing for years and all. He always said he wanted to be buried in that thing, you know. He ended up, he was cremated, you know. But my daddy was a trip. He was all old school. There wasn't nothing new school about him, you know. And we didn't see much eye to eye on things because he was old school and I was new school, but we got along well. Sitting in Denny's one time, coming from Bristol to race. Coming there, stopped, went in, had never eaten Denny's restaurant before, you know, go in, me and my wife sitting there. These 2 old men sitting behind us, you know, they drinking their coffee and carrying on, you know. They was some BS, you know, a lot of it going on there, you know. You can tell this was a everyday morning thing for them, you know. One of them talking about, said his son got him one of these dirt bikes. And he said, I done told him to stay out of my front yard on that dirt bike. He said, I looked There it goes across the front yard. Here it comes back. There it goes on the back wheel. That thing throwed it, run over him, broke his leg, went out there, turned around and come back and run over him again and broke his other leg. Said, girlfriend standing there, she was a Wednesday baby. Said she just crying up a storm. And the other man said, a Wednesday baby? What do you mean she was a Wednesday baby? He said, she's so cross-eyed that she can see both weekends, the weekend before and the weekend after. I had to get my driver's license renewed, and I went to have it renewed. And said Carolina had a hit on my driver's license. Driver's license was revoked. 13 years ago, claimed I'd got a ticket driving on a revoked license, and I'd never had a revoked license. Well, anyway, clean driving record, go to DMV, Richmond. They go back 10 years, perfect, you know. So I argued, couldn't cash a check, couldn't do nothing, so I had to go get me an ID, get an ID, $770, 13 years ago. So I finally, after about a year riding around with no license, I said, I got to get my license straight, so I send the money in. Send the money in on a Thursday. Tuesday, I get off work, checking mail. They done sent it back. And tried me in my absence now and found me not guilty. 13 years, this been owing this money and stuff and all, and I've been calling and raising Cain. 13, so I go get my license. Got to take a test on a computer. Hadn't been in that since I was 16 years old, you know, handwritten test in, you know. I'm just as nervous as I could be. Sheen shuts down. I done aced it. I didn't have to finish the test because she missed 5 questions, you know, and Sheen just shut down. 2 teenagers sitting there, both of them failed it. They 16 years old, they failed their test. So my stepdaughter, she goes over to, we go over to the light bill place and pull up at the light bill place to pay the light bill. She said, I'm studying my signs to take my learner's permit test. And the sign said, no outlet. Pull up in the parking lot, you know, no outlet. She said, is that for campers? I looked at her, I said, for campers? What are you talking about? She said, no outlet. She said, RV outlet is right down the road here. She said, so I thought that was campers, you know, no outlet. I said, no, sugar. You can't get out this parking lot but one way. You've got to come back out this way. I said, there's no need for you to go take your test. But they don't know no signs or nothing. They ride the road, beach, elephants on side road, one burning, one right after the other. They don't ever see nothing. They ain't never seen a sign. All else on that phone. Tick, 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 tick. I tell my daughter, you lay your kids down, but you won't lay that phone down. I got a little granddaughter. She's 5 years old, and she's a little handful. She'd jump down on the floor and do that dance, flipping around, jumping up and down and everything. And she's a little acrobat. She can run and jump and turn flips. I call her Bo Diddley. And she's something. She's the center of attention. She done got where now, if she's not the center of attention, she's going to do something to get to be the center of attention, you know. She's going to headbutt one of the others. I think she was born in an octagon. When she was 6 months old, she could just grab a hold of another kid and wrap her arms, and her feet would come up off the ground and wrap around it on the ground, biting, carrying, scratching, carrying on. But she's been fine since she went to school. But she's got my youngest little grandson, he come in the house the other day, and it was a thing of blueberry Krispy Kreme twist donuts sitting there. And it all been eaten. And he kind of stutters a little bit. And he said, Papa, who eat all them donuts? I said, don't worry about who eat all them donuts, son. There ain't no more in there. You're not going to get none. Well, I just want to know who eat all them donuts. I said, it don't matter. And he just kept on and on and on. I videoed him. And videoed him eating. He's eating cereal and stuff and all, you know, and I asked him how old his mama is, and he said, 3. And I said, what's the best thing your mama cooks for supper? He said, chicken and rice. Chicken and rice. He said, I love it. Chicken and rice. Lexi said, stop that stuttering, Liam. He said, not stuttering. You stuttering, sis. So it gets on down to the end. This is what makes Papas feel so special. I asked him, I said, son, what do you want to be when you grow up? He said, I want to be big and tall, just like you, Papa. And that just made the day, you know. Went and took a hearing aid test, and I just talk junk to the woman the whole time, you know. I get in the booth and give me a little thing, push a button. I said, I just love to push women's buttons, you know. And just talk. My girlfriend said, he's just full of himself, you know. So anyway, when I get out, done the test and everything and all, and they fit me for a set of hearing aids, you know. So they told my girlfriend to get behind me and stand and talk to me. Well, I thought she was standing right behind me, you know, so I turned around. She's 30 feet from me. So take the hearing aids off, I'll get in the truck, start down the road. First thing she asked me, I said, huh? I asked for something else, I said, huh? I said, you know, I kind of like it a whole lot better without these hearing aids, you know. I can't hear you, you know. I said, a lot of stuff you say, I really don't even care. That just don't even make sense to me, and I don't want to care nothing about it. So we stop at Bojangles. And we go in Bojangles. There's 4 women sitting there on a Friday. All of them in the beauty parlor, you know, had the hair fixed. These women, all of them in the 80s, from 82 to 90 years old, you know. My girlfriend said, look, they all been to the beauty shop. I said, I'm going to get them going, you know. Leave them women alone. Don't say nothing to them. I get through eating. I just get up and walk on. I said, y'all show all a beautiful bunch of women. I said, what dance y'all going tonight? Going dance? I said, y'all got to be going to a dance somewhere, shaking a leg. She said, where is a dance? I said, won't that fella and all? I said, come on, I'll go with y'all. They said, is that your daughter? I said, yeah, that's my youngest daughter. One of them said something. I said, that's my girlfriend. I said, she's a whole lot younger than I am. Well, we're going to have to check her ID. And I said, she looks like she's 17, 18, but she's 38 years old, you know. We just carry on with them, carry on. I said, but she can't dance a lick. I said, I probably enjoy dancing with y'all women a whole lot better. They laughed, they carried on. We went out and got in the truck. When we got in the truck, they were still watching. When I drove off, they was waving at us. I told my girlfriend, I said, that's what life is about. Laughing, carrying on. I said, them people go home tonight and they'll be telling everybody, we met this man up at Bojangles. He's the craziest man we ever seen in his life. But we all had a laugh, you know, had a good time. That's what life's about, you know. Hard work and good times, you know. Man, they're worrying me to death. Hi, my name's Todd. And we'll talk about a hospital. I just come out of the hospital, and people don't even realize when you get in the hospital how many family members you have that is doctors. Everybody that comes see you is a doctor. You know, thinking to myself, you just borrowed $20 from me yesterday, you know, but now you're a doctor. Why haven't you got your money off of your doctor job, you know, and haven't asked me, you working at the sawmill needing $20, but you're a doctor. And it's just, everybody, hairdresser, wants to lie and tell you that, tell them a tick bit you. If they can't find out what's wrong, well, just tell them a tick bit you so they'll run that test on you and all. Yeah, I just got out of the hospital, and people don't realize when you're in the hospital how many of your family members, you know, there's doctors. Everyone comes in, they want to tell you what's wrong with you, you know, and all. But they're working at the sawmill. Just borrowed $20 off of me, but I'm up in the hospital and they telling me what's wrong with me. Every one of them, 10 I'm at the group doctors, you know. They're just family, you know, just pitiful, you know. Well, they claim my heart was fine and all, but everybody gallbladder, whole family's gallbladder, you know. Never had no trouble with gallbladder. One person in the family's had the gallbladder took out, you know. So it's kind of like my daddy. He went and got a set of tires one time on his truck, and it let his truck down off the lift, and the truck wouldn't crank. So they raised it back up and took a rubber hammer and hit the fuel pump, gas tank. Well, every time my vehicle's ever broke down or anything since then, this is a fuel pump. You know, it ain't nothing else. Can't be nothing else but fuel pump. If you'll just listen to, but you just so damn hard-headed, you just go on and do what you're saying. Well, this is a fuel pump, you know. And Well, that's what I'm trying to think is funny. I'm getting off the funny part and getting up to other things.
Serious stuff.
Yeah, I should have wrote some of the funny stuff down, but I figured once I got into it, it's the first time in front of a camera, you know, so it's different when you stand around a 5-barrel at Bristol, you know, and you're drinking beer and steaming oysters, you know.
I got some beer in there.
My buddies at the racetrack, they tell all the time, said, if we go over the racetrack to see somebody or something, we'll come back, or some friends on the other side of the track and get back. They said, how'd things go? They said, we'll let Todd tell you. Said, he just tells stuff so much better. Said, we can go to the store and get a loaf of bread, you know. Tell somebody went to the store and get a loaf of bread, they don't even act like a head. Said, when he starts talking, everybody just zooms in on him, you know. And he just makes everything so much exciting, you know. But I've always been able to add stuff to things and all, and it just comes easy. I reckon I had an uncle that was he could make a fence post laugh, you know. I reckon I got some of him in me. Oh yeah, well, we run dogs, you know. A lot of people don't like dog hunting, you know. I like dog hunting. It gives the deer more of a sporting chance to me, you know. The deer run out on you 20 yards and you miss him, you know. I'm sitting in a tree stand, I'm not gonna miss no deer. But go to pick it, people call, had one of my dogs. I go over to get the dog, and I pull up, this dude, 240, 6'8", runs out of the house, runs right up to the door. Do you like Captain Kangaroo? I said, oh yes, I love Captain Kangaroo. Somebody's hollering, leave him alone, he's come to get a dog, but he likes Captain Kangaroo. I just had another good one on my head and I missed it that quick, but we was in a tree stand one day. I told him not to pick us up to 12 o'clock. We was on a hunt in South Carolina, and they all laughed at me. My wife had me little granola bars and everything, and potted meat and beanie weenies and naps and everything. And they all laughed. Good God, you're gonna stay a week? But every morning and every evening they was in my room getting food, putting it in a little knapsack, you know, getting tree stand. So we had a bet, $5 a day. The bet got up to $75. And JB, I told him not to pick us up at 11 o'clock. A quarter after 7, I shot. I told him, I said, I was sitting there eating a granola bar, had the gun laying across the thing. He said, eating a granola bar? I said, that buck looked right up at me like he wanted some of that granola. I said, so I had to drop a granola bar and throw the gun on him. I said, I shot his heart right out of him. JB said, shot his heart out? I said, yep. They done got that to pick me up. I said, where is it at? I said, he's crashed and burned over in the woods there. I said, I shot his heart out. Shot his heart out. I said, yeah, he was eating with Simmons out on that Simmon tree. And they went and got him. And he said, how big is he? I said, $75 big. I said, that's what the bet is, $75. That's how big he is, $75. He's bigger than anything else anybody else to kill. They drug him back out in the road. He said, dog, you didn't tell the truth. His heart was hanging out the hole on the other side where I'd shot it. He said, you said you shot his heart out of him. You shot it out of him. I worry about my kids growing up and grandkids and stuff, the way the world's coming, you know, and what they have to do.
Well, ain't no kids hunting no more. You don't see them. They don't care.
No, they don't care. Don't care about hunting. I got a grandson is a ball player, and football player and ball player. I had cussed at them. I've been raising them for 8 years, and my wife died, and my son died, and their mama worried me to death until carried me to court 5 or 6 different times till she got custody of them back. But I still have joint custody of them. I never had to tell them to do nothing, get ready for practice. I was already ready for practice every day, up, ready to go to school. Now they can't get out of bed and go to school. Don't want to go to practice. Don't want to go to conditioning and nothing. Went to the hospital the other day, had some breathing problems. 12 years old, weighed 176 pounds. With all the natural talent it is to play ball And ever since she's had them, they lay in a trailer all day long, playing Fortnite and on a computer, you know. I'd never had, well, you remember, Barry, when we worked on your castle, I'd go get them off school bus, bring them back over, and they'd sit in the truck and do their homework. I'd carry one to football practice, one to cheerleading practice, you know. And it was never a dull moment in their lives, and now that's all they got. It's just that game and stay in that trailer all day long, you know. I asked Cassie the other day about a port card. And she said, progress report? I said, port card. You understand, port card. No reason to be trying to think of a lie or nothing. Your last port card, not the one before that, or not the one you're getting ready to get, what you have on it. A C, a D, and a F. I said, what was so hard about answering that question when I asked it the first time, instead of going to the fences move? On my progress report, I got 3 C's and 2 B's. But you skipped that question of the report card, you know. But they can't help it. It's the way they're raised today and times, you know.
You think you ought to have schools with common sense?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, kids don't get out of no houses no more. There's nothing but a computer game, you know. They don't get outside. My stepson cutting grass. Want to learn how to cut grass, you know. And they live in a trailer, and 10 streaks wide on one side and 10 streaks on the other side, you know. He's 12 years old. I get him out there, crank a push mower up, cut him a straight line down through there. Tell him, put your tire on the part line that's already been cut. Cut grass. About halfway down, he just turned, goes on out in the other part of the yard, you know. So, next week, I pull up, he's cutting grass. I'm sitting in the truck watching him. He cuts about half of it, misses about half the yard, you know. He turns the lawnmower off, goes inside. Mama comes out, cranks the lawnmower up, she finishes cutting grass, you know. I said, what did you just teach him? She said, nothing. I said, what you need to do is make him come out here and crank the lawnmower up himself and finish cutting the grass. So the 3rd week I come in, he's cutting grass. I go in, I walk to the back door and look at the back door. I said, she says, leave him alone. I said, leave him alone? I can't even watch him cut grass, just leave him alone, don't even look at him. So I sat down at the table, the one was sitting, second, clunk, 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 lawnmower just clunk, cut right off. She said, what was that? I said, might have run over his leg, might have run over his foot. Hell, might be on his head. I don't know. Well, get up and look. I said, no, I can't look at him. You told me not to look at him. So if I can't look at him while he's cutting grass, I sure don't want to be looking at him while his foot's cut up on there, you know. So she keeps on, she's doing homework. So I get up, go to the door, and he'd run over a hand towel at the yard that she had hanging on the porch. She said, I told her, I said, he run over that hand towel. You gonna get it out from under him for him? I said, no, I'm not gonna get it out in there for him. I said, when he gets through getting that hand towel out from under there, he'll know the next time it's a whole lot easier to pick it up and put it back on the porch than it is to just keep running over it. And I said, that's the problem with kids now. Parents don't teach them that part. They run out and do everything for them. Kids will you let one of them be sticking a nail in a receptacle. God knows they'll jump up and have a flip, holler, scream, no, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. But tell them to do something. And they just sit there and act like they don't hear you. There's nothing never said, you know. The kids is the parents. They control the situation and everything. My little grandkids, I stay on them all the time. Liam White he's 4 years old. Started flipping the bird. Daddy done taught him a little bit, stick his little middle finger up at him. School 2-hour delay. Bringing grandkids up there for me to put them on school bus. And my daughter's carrying him to school. So I walk out there and talk to him in the truck. And he sat down and he said, Pop, what happened to the window on the side of your truck? I said, Little Johnny. He said, Little Johnny? I said, yeah. Little Johnny got a smart mouth on him. Does bad things, saying bad words and doing stuff and all. And I told him, keep on. So I said, finally, little Johnny smart, ma'am. I said, when he smart, ma'am, and I reached down and got him by his hand, by his leg. I banged his head against the window a couple of times, got to the window, I banged his head against the window. He said, where little Johnny at now? I said, he's in the hospital. They're sewing his tongue back on and putting his eye back in his head. I said, but he won't ever spar at me no more. And I looked at him, I said, you know what's going to happen to you when you smarred my papa? He said, what? I said, you going to be in the emergency room. They're going to be sewing your tongue back on, putting your eye back in your head. My daughter said when they left, went on to school, said on to school, he said, I ain't going to say no more bad words. And I ain't going to stick my finger up no more. And my said, Papa said he's going to knock my eye out and make me bite my tongue off. And a lot of people think, you know, Lord, you tell your grandkids that, but I won't never have to worry about him saying another bad word or something, you know, put a little fear in them. Well, anyway, we had got to talking to some of the girls and all, and they come over and they needed a place to take a shower because they was going and enter the titty contest down the road that night. So my buddy had a horse trailer fixed up like into a camper, and in the back of the horse trailer had a shower built back out. So, two good-looking girls. So I go to my camper. I asked my wife, I said, I need a video camera. What do you need a video camera for? I said, two of them girls is going to take showers in the back of Ray's camp, and they want me to video them. Want you to video them? I said, yeah. I said, she said, you ain't not video. I said, I'm not going to be, this is just video, and it ain't really like I'm going to get no pleasure nothing out of it, you know. She said, you ain't videoing nowhere. So anyway, they leave, and one of them leaves a pair of panties up in the back of the camper, you know. So Ray brings the panties all out, you know, and we all talking, you know, a bunch of men laughing, carrying on, you know. My wife said, what did y'all do with them panties? I said, they sniffed them up. She said, sniffed them up? I said, yeah, after everybody smelled them 2 or 3 times, they were gone. They just sniffed them panties up. She said, you are not right in your head. But racetrack, you know, racing, you got to be NASCAR. You can't be halfway going NASCAR. You got to be all in NASCAR. But kids this day and time, they don't fear their parents. They don't fear the law. They don't fear the school teachers, the principals, or nothing, you know. I was always scared that not that I was going to get killed, but I was going to be corrected, you know, by my parents. And I tell people, when we got to fighting 4 boys, we was 10, 9, 8, and 6. We got to fighting out in the yards. We fought like we was killing each other, you know. My mama, I've seen the time she'd take a fly swatter and whoop us. We'd never stop fighting. But if she was raking leaves or something, she'd take a rake, whack us across the back and all. And I said, that was cruelty. I said, no. She done what she had to do to be in control. You know, that's what's wrong with parents this day and time. They don't do what they need to do to be in control of their kids. Oh yeah.
You got stuck one time.
Yeah, it's a good one right here. We was rabbit hunting. You know, a little bit of snow on the ground. Rabbit hunting and come up, found these 2 little baby. Well, first we seen a bear run out on us. Well, they run out on the other side and they seen them, and they started back and they run on JB's side. And JB took off running. He didn't have nothing but bird shot, like 8 shot or something in his gun, you know. They didn't get on up the top of the hill. We holler back down there, JB, she's running for you. He took off running. About halfway up the hill, I said, run, JB, that bear's right on you. He hollered, help me, help me, help me, I can't run no faster. And the bear had crossed the low ground and went the opposite way, but we put it on him. I ain't never seen a little short man run as hard as he was running in his life. He just broke on down, help me, help me, I can't run no faster. I don't think much of the new rules at all in the racing. They done took racing out of racing, you know. It ain't no racing. We used to go to plenty of races and all, but not no more. And I think NASCAR's feeling it bad too. I'm drawing a blank here now. You got to help me.
They done shot yourself in the foot with these new rules.
Oh yeah, they sure have. I mean, it's, you know, they're getting getting all these new guys in cheaper, you know. Everything's cheaper, you know. You don't pay a good race car driver the money to drive, you know. You used to know everybody on the circuit. Now you don't know but a handful of them, you know. Then my youngest daughter told me, said the things was easy when Nanny had y'all 4 boys. I said, what do you mean easy? She said it was a whole lot easier. I said, yeah, she didn't have no cell phone. She had time to do stuff because she didn't have a cell phone in her hand, you know. Kids this day and time can't do nothing because of cell phone. We had plowed the garden, disted the garden. My daddy had passed away, you know, and I always had a garden. So I'd went out there and plowed it, and I'm laughing. Daddy always drove a tractor. We just hooked stuff up, you know, and I couldn't get nothing to work and this and that. So we had to get the garden, get it plowed and disted, get the rows laid away, fertilizer in it, go buy $40 worth of seed. Starts raining. Well, it rains. I'm leaving Friday, going out of town on vacation. My daughter's getting married at the beach. It rains Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So while I'm at the beach, Mama calls her. You got the prettiest garden I ever seen in my life. She said the grass is about 4 inches deep all the way across. All the neighbors, anybody come to the house, she'd get them. She said, let me carry y'all up here and show you Todd's garden. They'd walk up there and they'd look and they'd want up the weeds out there. And they said, well, where's the garden at? She said, there it is. There's the damn weeds. She's the comicest thing you ever seen in life. Them weeds. She told everybody, weeds, weeds, weeds. But they was, if you'd wanted them to come up that simple, you would have never got them up there. Sterling Hall, Big Sterling Hall, know-it-all that works for me. He tells them all the time, help and all. He said, if I was as pitiful as you are, he said, I'd just walk out there to the road and the next transfer truck come by, I'd just jump right in front of it and just end my life. He said, boy, when I was y'all's age, I didn't never breathe until 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening. He said, I'd do as much work as 3 of y'all. Sterling D, I tell him all the time, Sterling D Hall, D for damn. But he's one of them that he talks all day long. I'm on one end of the porch working, he's on the other end, and all I can see is like on the Tim, the tool-man, the neighbor. There's Sterling down there working, and he's looking up over the wall, and I can see him from there up, and he's boom, 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 boom. I can't understand nothing. He says, you can ask him 5 times, he'll never get no louder. And he says that remembrance. He said the hip ain't got no remembrance. I said, ain't got no remembrance. He said, they can't remember nothing. He said, where my damn trial at? Somebody done got my trial. I said, remembrance. I said, maybe you need to get some remembrance. We carry on all the time on the job. It's just a comical, but it passes the day, you know. It makes the day go by. But the help pushing the wheelbar, I laugh at them. Pushing the wheelbar full of mortar. We can't push it, we can't push it. There's a raising cane. I said, well, why don't you fill the wheelbar halfway up? Instead of filling it all the way up, fill it halfway up. You have to push 2 wheelbars. I said, what y'all want is a job working at McDonald's. Just putting the cheese on the hamburger. Not putting the hamburger on the bun and the ketchup and the mustard and the lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise. All y'all want to do is just put the cheese on the hamburger. I said, get you that job. Had 4 bricklayers on the job, 4 bricklayers. They get out of the truck, Sterling, he's got a trowel. That's all he's got. You know, bricklayer supposed to level, trowel, thumbs on, run and everything, you know. The others get out, they ain't got absolutely nothing. They ain't got a pencil, they ain't got a twig, they ain't got nothing, but they want to make $20 an hour. And I tell them, I wished I could be a bricklayer like y'all, you know. I come out when I was a kid, working 13 years old, might not have no tools, but I worked myself up and I bought me a trowel so I could get up on the wall, spread mortar, and learn a trade, you know. I didn't want to shovel mortar and tote block the rest of my life. I wanted to be a bricklayer, you know. And I worked to be a mason, you know. And it's paid off. I love my job. And if you don't love what you're doing, you ain't got no business doing it. There's so many people this day and time don't do nothing, don't work. Generations don't work a lick. They think you're supposed to, they want to work. They really want you to bring them bring a check by there and give it to them Friday and not pick them up, you know, not have to work. They don't hold no money out the check. If they want to hold $25 for next week, so they have $5 a day. If it rains today, they want you to bring them that $5 so they can eat lunch, you know. Cost you, you know, to bring you money. This generations is so much different, you know. I love music, country music and all. Danny, one who works for me, he's a different music every day. I don't let them play a lot of music on the jobs because they can't keep up, you know. And I got this one bricklayer, Danny, when the help gets to him, I'll tell them all, I said, I'm gonna put shock collars on y'all. Because y'all go to Danny and y'all just stand and talk and talk and talk. When his mouth opens, his hands stop, you know. And that's the end of the laying block, you know, just conversation, conversation, conversation. But I was brought up, you worked and worked hard. It's not no working hard no more to this generation.
So what's the meaning of life?
Well, I think to me, my opinion of life is, some people say, raising kids, you know. And I said, well, I don't think raising kids is all part of life. Yes, when you start having kids, you're committed to raising your kids. You're either all in. It ain't no such a thing as being half in, you know. You raise your kids. I got married. We were 17 and 19. I told her I'd stay with her until our kids, promised her I would stay married until our kids were grown. Well, when she passed away, we'd been married 36 years, you know. We're still together. But when my kids got grown, I started carrying my wife and doing things and all. I didn't want, and I'm so glad that I did it, because she up and died at 52 years old, you know. If we'd waited until 62 or something, retired, she wouldn't have never, our life would have been just raising kids. The hustle and bustle of working, coming home, washing clothes, cleaning, cooking, for kids, raising kids, you know. But our kids, we had kids at a young age. We got out last 3 or 4 years of her marriage. Everywhere I went, I carried her with me, you know. We'd go to race, it might be 10 guys, but I had her with me, carried everywhere. And I was so glad that I'd done that instead of waiting. A lot of people wait, you know, wait and keep waiting. And a lot of people, when they retire, they don't last no time, they die. They've never been nowhere, never been out of Danville. And I've always been this. If you tell me you've been to Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee, or somewhere, and eat in a restaurant, if I'm anywhere close by there, or that way, I'm gonna go by there, and I'm going in that restaurant, and I'm gonna holler at you on the phone. I'm in here eating. You know, you ain't the only one been here, you know. And that's a lot about life, you know. Getting out and doing, meeting people. I got friends all over the world. I expect y'all do too. But I mean friends that I've met, high dollar people. Camp beside me, I'm just a little small company man, poor man, you know, work to make a living. My little camp, and I'll have people park beside me on $500,000 campers, you know. We get along like click. They call me every week, want to know when we coming up to race. If we're going to get there a day early, they're going to be there a day early to set up with us and stuff and all, you know. That's what life's about, meeting people, enjoying yourself, you know, and having a good time. You know, going out to eat supper sometimes, people just think you're going out to eat a meal. But the conversation and the fellowship you have, talking to people and meeting people and all, what overweighs a meal by far, you know.